by cutting spending and not raising taxes, as I said at the outset. As I said as well, Governor, there is a move afoot in Washington to expand tax hikes beyond just the rich, rather than really taking an axe to spending. What do you think of just that direction and the criticism that those in power in Congress either don't get it or refuse to see it?
Well, I think that's what you're seeing and feeling across the country from folks, is that people are discontent with the idea that we're going to have an ever-expanding, ever-growing government with deficits that our great-grandchildren will never be able to pay off, while we continue to increase taxes on people all across America in a whole bunch of different ways. So for me, philosophically, I don't think you even need to ask the question about what I think about that. You watch what I'm doing here in New Jersey. This is what I believe. And so do I believe it should be done in the country? Of course I do. And I'm going to make sure that I campaign for and elect congressional members who are in line with that to the best of my ability, because I believe that's the direction our country needs to go in. But I'm putting my money where my mouth is in New Jersey by making hard choices, standing up to special interests who before have been used to having nobody stand up to them. I'm standing up and fighting for what I believe is right for my state, because you know what? We've got 9.8% of our folks unemployed in New Jersey. I need to get those people back to work so they can support their families and feel like they've got a good job that's going to be there for them to go to every day, to feel good about themselves. That's what I'm focused on. You know, growing more famous in this job in the few months you've been at it, you strike a lot of people as like a bull in a china shop. And I can say you and I are neighbors in Mendham, New Jersey, so disclosing that for the record here. Just down the street, everyone in town says, what a nice guy, what an affable guy. And then they see you chewing out some union dude, or they see you, you know, jumping ugly on a reporter. Don't try that with me, by the way. But they say, hey, is that the same guy? Of course it is. You know, what people confuse all the time is passion and Jersey passion, which we all know is a much different thing. Okay? Jersey passion with anger. I mean, you know, I get angry sometimes, like everybody does. Really? Yeah, but I'm passionate about what I believe in. And I also think that the public needs to start being treated like adults. You know, politicians too much, in my view, you know, they try to figure out, you know, try to figure out what everybody wants to hear. They try to figure out what everybody wants to hear. I want to treat New Jerseyans, and I am treating New Jerseyans like adults. And that's not just my constituents, it's reporters, it's union leaders. If I feel something, I'm going to say it. So you lump reporters with union leaders? Listen, you can't lump reporters with almost anybody, but, you know, they're a whole different class of themselves. But the people I interact with, if I feel strongly about something, I'm going to say it, and I say it bluntly and directly and honestly. I am not a smoke signal sender. You're not going to have to wonder what I'm thinking. Now, sometimes that's good, and sometimes some people think it isn't. But it is who I am. And I certainly didn't pretend to be anything else the 7 years I was U.S. attorney putting crooked politicians in jail, and I certainly didn't pretend to be anything else when I was running for governor. So this is who I am. So for better or for worse, for the people who don't like me, they're stuck with me for 4 years. That's the way it is. Your sense of humor. You have a very good sense of humor, and it got you through a couple of pickles during the campaign. The Don Imus interview comes to mind. How important is it to you to just step back, lighten up sometimes, zing your opponents, but don't take it personally, come back, have a good joke, good laugh? Every day I have to do that. I mean, you know, if you take yourself too seriously in this job, then you're bound to fail. What did you mean by miserable? That? Yeah, right? Yeah, you're bound to fail and be miserable. And so to me, you have to have fun every day. You have to try at least to have fun every day. And in this job, most days I have at least some moments of fun, and sometimes more than others. And you have to laugh at yourself. You know, I see the editorial cartoons all over the state that characterize me in all kinds of different ways. And, you know, you got to laugh about it. And you got to have fun with it. If you take yourself so seriously that you can't ever take a deep breath and just laugh about things, you know, it's crazy. And I will tell you this, as I said before, I have 4 kids. And for anybody out there in your audience and in this audience here who has children at the age I have, 6, 9, 14, and 16, you know, you better laugh because they're going to make your life more difficult, and they're not going to treat you, you know, like you're anything special. In fact, my 9-year-old son Patrick, you know, recently we were at home, and I was telling him that he had to clean his room, and he you know, he was not happy about it, and he was stamping his feet and giving me a hard time. And I said, Patrick, clean your room now. And he said, "You're not governor here, Dad." And I looked at him, I said, "No, but I'm your father, so clean your room." So, you know, you gotta look back and laugh on those things, Neil. And I tend to have, I think, a good outlook on that stuff. And, you know, I'm the luckiest guy in the world that I get a chance to have this job, to be governor of the state where I was born and raised. So you're never going to hear me complain, and I hope you're never going to hear me whine. I can pretty much assure you won't. I'm lucky. I'm really lucky to have the chance to lead the state that I love. So, you know, you won't hear any problems out of me.
Well, I relate to that. My son just says, "Dad, chill, it's cable." So, Governor, thank you very, very
Neil,
much.
thank you. Thanks for coming here. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.